Perfect. Perfect. Alright, so I'm doing a bit of work on the wagon today. I want to try and stuff this intercooler behind the bumper and the front lip, which means I'm going to have to move the front lip closer to the front because it sits back there on those mounts, so I can move it like, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches further forward. So just like screws to pull these off, nothing too crazy. So now the intercooler itself, so this is off, all I know is it's off an XR6, as you can see by the sweet Ford. I don't know if that helps anyone, partner maybe. But the benefit of this is they're essentially the same feed side. So what I want to do is, alright, so what I want to do is, charge pipe comes out of here, and then obviously the intake pipe's up here. So I'll bring both of them over to under here. There's like a bit of space there, and I want to run like pass-throughs through that that bulkhead, I guess you'd say, like the battery tray, if that makes sense. So I just want to have 2 pipes that are welded in, and then see if I can manage to snake these down into here and have silicon couplers to go through that bulkhead. And so they'll come out just in front of the wheel well. So they will come out through here, and then I'll be able to route them down, and the intercooler should finish up here somewhere. So I'll have one of them under there, the other one here, and that should be that. At least I hope that's how it's going to pan out, but I've been wrong before. So anyway, see if I can get the intercooler situated in here somewhere I'm happy, and then I'll see if I can utilize some of these. Actually, they don't look like bolt holes, but maybe that one is. I'll just see if I can bolt it in there. I've got nut certs, and I'll make some tabs and everything to hold it in place. And yeah, the idea is to have it look stock, but it's really tricky to fit front mounts into these cars without pulling out air conditioning, which is what I don't want to do. So maybe I'll have to lose this, I'm not too sure. It doesn't really do much, it just holds that front lip thing, but we'll see what happens. So that's the plan, and hopefully I can capture it. Alright, so I'm just doing some test fits to see where to position the intercooler itself, because I really want to try and avoid cutting anything. So there is just enough gap between this air conditioning fan and this bumper. So you can see that it has just that smidge of wiggle room. So I'll likely put some cut up hose around these metal parts, especially down there at the bottom where it's practically touching. So that will sort of like insulate it from rubbing through, because alloy tends to rub through over time. And now this is it's got like the support for these headlights. They're like the high beams. And then this is also part of the radiator hood latch support. It doesn't really do that much. Like these headlight things will hold it in because it all just sort of sits there. Obviously the car's always moving forward. But I would like to try and retain that, so we'll see how we go as far as pipe routing is concerned. I might be able to come up and over and down, but at the moment, just getting these sides. There we go, there's one. That side's pretty much in. So getting these lined up, you can see that under here touches this pipe. So I would likely have to trim this bottom lip, which is not a drama because you can't see that, so I'll be fine with that. So trim that, and that should sort it, but maybe if we can move it, it looks like it's going to touch no matter where I go with this. Even if we go back and forth any further this way, and it's going to start interfering with these lights, I think. Upside down. Yeah, so if we come too far that way, yeah, we're not going to be able to, I don't want to move this bracket. So it'd have to be at least there, maybe a bit further across. But then with this setup, so I'm not going to be able to, I'll be able to keep this, which I want, but I don't think I can fit a decent sized cooler pipe under here. Not with that. I've got some test pieces, I might fit them in a minute. So I should be able to come up and over. So next we need to test the front grille to make sure that that is going to clear any potential intercooler pipes. Come on, get back into your hole. There we go. Alright, so now that's in, we can sort of see, it is going to be really close if we want to try and snake a cooler pipe through there. So I'll get a test pipe and see how, we've got, like sort of the tolerance we've got for clearance. But other than that, if we come down over here, you can see that it's not going to hang down. So this is our lowest point, is this part. And so just looking at that, you can see that this is above that. So we're not going to look like a VL cruising around. Like the other mounting points are here, but it sort of steps down a bit. So it'd probably sit here, and we're well beneath that, which is good. It's what I want. I know it's not going to get too much airflow because obviously it's behind a bumper, but this is just the preliminary sort of setup. I just want to, it's my first soiree into aftermarket intercooling and custom setups, so we'll just do this for now. You can see that this pipe has got a good, you know, run out of here and up that way, and there's also enough room for this other pipe to pass through to get out there if we need. Or alternatively, we might even be able to, you see there's a bit of a gap running straight up there, so there's the cooler pipe and then there's the gap running up between, like next to the air conditioning fan. So we could bring the other cooler pipe down through there, and then this is that bulkhead that I want to try and play with. So all we're going to do today is try and get this mounted and get this front lip modified so that it covers it. And then in the coming weeks, hopefully I can get in here and put in the pass-throughs, or at least map out where they're going to go, because it's all, I have no idea if this is going to work. So anyway, that looks pretty good. We're going to go get this same size pipe and see how we fit up here with running that pipe, and we should be good. Alright, so the intercooler pipe I used to make the air intake for the turbo is like 2 3/4 inches, I think. So it is too big for this intercooler pipe. I think this is only, sorry, for this cooler, I think it's only 2 inches, but this is 1 3/4 inches, so it's closer than 2 3/4 inches. So if we pop this down here, you can see that it fits between those two with a good amount of free play. That's probably, I don't know, a few millimeters at least. And then you can also see that if I was to get creative with some corners, I could get out of there and then down, because, oh God, you can't see anything, out of there, down to where the cooler is, and then underneath this, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll go down that hole or wherever, and it would put it where I want it. So then we'd be able to come through that bulkhead and get creative under here. Like maybe I could run something underneath this pipe to here, and then this one can come down, spiral down into there. We'll figure it out, but it looks like this cooler position will work, so I'll get rid of that. So now I've just got to figure out how far this way I can go, and then I'll mount the cooler itself. So I'll run brackets up to here or something like that to get it all situated. Then I'll notch this out. Then the next step is to cut this and move it all that way so that it lines up here and has the cooler nicely behind it. So let's get it done.